Good day, everyone. So today our topic will be stylistic analysis of poetry. So here are the guide questions in analyzing a poem. First is how to explore poem at a pragmatic level. Second is how to analyze the poem at a morphological level. Third is how to assess the poem at phonological level. And the last is how to evaluate the language devices that has been integrated in the poem. So in analyzing a poem, there are different aspects to consider. So there are 6 aspects in analyzing a poem. First is pragmatical level, second is tone, third is imagery, fourth is voice, fifth is phonological level, and sixth is morphological level. Let's tackle first the pragmatical level. So pragmatical level is about understanding the practical use and effects of the words and phrases in the poem. So in analyzing a poem, we should consider how the author used those words regardless of its connection on the real life context. So it focuses on how language is used to achieve certain goals or effects. So that is what pragmatical level means in analyzing a poem. So here's an example to fully understand what is pragmatical level in analyzing a poem. So the example that I included here is the poem entitled The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. So listen as I read the poem. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, quoth the raven, nevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtains, prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, of bird or devil, and the lamplight or him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. So, in this poem, the pragmatic level can be seen in these lines in how the language is used to convey meaning and emotions. So for example, the repetition of the word nevermore found in the first and in the first and the second line, where it serves as a pragmatic purpose, emphasizing the speaker's anguish and despair. So the choice of words and phrases such as weak and weary, which is found in the first line, it emphasizes sad and having a deep and emotional impact on the poem, and also the words silken, sad, and uncertain rustling. So these words were used by the author to show his or her emotional impact on the poem. So the pragmatical level in these lines enhances the overall communication of the speaker's state of mind while writing it, and the eerie atmosphere of the poem. So that is how we analyze the pragmatical level or the usage of pragmatics in a certain poem. And the second aspect in analyzing a poem is the tone. So what is the tone? What is the tone of the author while writing the poem? So tone refers to the attitude or feelings that the writer conveys through the poem. So it could be serious, it could be humorous, sad, or any other emotions that the writers want to express. So here's an example. It's the same poem that we referred previously. So in the poem The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, the tone of these lines is melancholic, mysterious, and foreboding. The opening lines sets a somber tone with a description of midnight dreary. So once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary. So it creates a darkness, a sense of darkness and introspection, which is shown in the first line. So the raven's repeated utterance of nevermore contributes to the tone of despair and hopelessness. So the imagery of the silken, sad, and uncertain rustling. It adds to the eerie and unsettling tone of the poem. So overall, the tone of these lines conveys a mood of melancholy and impending doom. So the overall tone of the poem is, it shows sadness and despair, for it is what the author feels while writing it. So the third aspect in analyzing the poem is the imagery. So imagery involves the use of descriptive language to create mental images and evoke sensory experiences. So in analyzing a poem, we should also find the words that is used by the author in describing, or for our imagination to awaken our imagination while reading the poem. So this way it helps us, or it helps the reader, visualize and feel what the poet is expressing by awakening our imagination. So there are 5 types of imagery in analyzing a poem. First is visual imagery. So visual imagery is the descriptions that appeal to the sense of sight or visual. It creates in creating mental images through vivid visual detail. So in some poems, or most of the poems, the authors usually use these types of imagery in conveying his or her emotions or expression by using visualized descriptions of what he or she feels. And the second is auditory imagery. Auditory imagery are languages that evokes sounds and auditory sensations. It allows the readers to hear the poem. So by using those words, words that evokes sounds or auditory sensations, we readers can also hear, like just by reading the poem, we can hear what the author wants us to feel or imagine by just reading the poem. And the third is olfactory imagery. So olfactory imagery is the descriptions related to the smell and sense, engaging the sense of smell in the reader's imagination. So these olfactory imagery are those words being used by the author in order for us, like by just reading it, we can smell, or we can imagine this sense in reading the poem. So, and the fourth imagery is gustatory imagery. So gustatory, these words describes the taste and flavors, stimulating the reader's sense of taste. So these words describes the taste and flavors of if the author wants to convey to its reader. So the author also uses these words in order for us to, like, by just reading it, we can know what's the taste, or since we're talking about gustatory, so, or what's the taste of what the writer experiences while eating something. So that's gustatory imagery. And the last is tactile imagery. So these are words that evokes the sense of touch. Since we're talking about tactile, it evokes the sense of touch. It allows the readers to feel by just reading the poem. So those are the types of imagery. Now let's move forward to its example. So here's the same poem written by Edgar Allan Poe. So the imagery in these lines is vivid and evocative, painting a visual picture for the reader. So the description of the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of the purple curtain. So it creates a visual imagery for us to imagine that there's a uncertain rustling of each purple curtain. So it creates a sensory experience invoking the sound and texture of the curtains moving. So the image of Raven's shadow cast on the floor by the lamplight adds visual element to the scene. It enhances the eerie atmosphere of the poem, and the use of imagery in these lines enriches the reader's imagination and deepens the emotional impact of the text. So the poem of Edgar Allan Poe is full of imagery. He uses so many types of imagery in this poem, and it's, as we can see, it is written in a very creative way. And the next aspects will be reported by Miss Kadini. That's all. Thank you.